In this lesson, we're going to talk about energy flow through ecosystems. Again, remember that ecosystem is the broadest term of ecology. An ecosystem includes all living and non-living things in an environment. Pictured here is a pond ecosystem. Pick out some of the abiotic and biotic factors. Living things such as the bird, the beaver, the rabbits, the fish are biotic factors. Things such as the air, the weather, and the water are non-living abiotic factors. So in terms of energy flow through an ecosystem, first we need to identify where does the energy come from, and then in order to understand energy in an ecosystem, we'll be learning about a figure called an energy pyramid. Energy is important for all life. Every biotic factor in an ecosystem needs energy. They need this energy to grow, repair tissue, reproduce and make offspring, and to move around. The first question that needs to be asked is, where does all the energy come from? All the energy comes from the sun. Whether you plug in your laptop into an outlet, that energy that is powering your laptop originated in the same place. All of the energy came from the sun. At the base of every healthy ecosystem are the plants. Plants are an ecosystem's producers. After sun gives off its energy, that energy is transferred to the producers. Producers use the sun's energy to do photosynthesis. Photosynthesis makes food for the plants and makes oxygen as a byproduct for all the organisms living around the plants. Producers themselves also are a great food source for organisms. Today, our producer will be eaten by the bug. The energy flows from the sun to the producer, and now that energy has been transferred to the bug. The bug is not yet at the top of the food chain. After the bug has eaten the plant, the bug itself is eaten by the bird. The bird is the top consumer. No organism in this ecosystem eats the bird. The energy has now been transferred to the bird. A question that should be asked is, does all of the energy from the sun get used? And the answer is absolutely not. Each time the energy is transferred from one thing to another, large amounts of that energy are lost. And actually, about 90% of the energy is lost as the form of heat. So every time we transfer from one thing to another, large amounts of that energy are lost. And the next consumer in line or producer in line only receive about 10% of the original energy. In order to help explain this heat loss at each level of consumption, we will use a diagram called an energy pyramid. An energy pyramid simply shows the amount of energy that is present at each level of the food chain. The plant producers are the bottom of the energy pyramid, just like they are the base of any healthy ecosystem and food chain. In this example, we're going to say that the amount of energy that is at the level of the plants is 100 energy units. Because 90% of the energy was lost to heat when the bug ate the plant, at the bug level of the energy pyramid, there is only 10 units of energy. At the top of our energy pyramid, and as well as at the top of the food chain, is the bird. As the bird eats the bug, again, 90% of the energy we said was lost as heat. So that only leaves 1 unit of energy left at the top level of the energy pyramid. As energy is transferred from the lower levels of the energy pyramid to the higher levels of the energy pyramid, the amount of energy is decreased. And again, this is simply because organisms are not very efficient and we lose a large amount of energy to heat. The food that you eat every single day, you do not use 100% of that energy. You are constantly releasing heat and the energy is escaping from your body. Alright, so let's follow the energy through the food chain. Again, all the energy in any ecosystem originates at the sun. The sun creates all the energy we have on Earth. That energy is then absorbed by our producers, any plants that are going to do photosynthesis. That photosynthesis, they're going to make themselves a little bit of food, but then the plants themselves are going to be food for other consumers. A consumer such as this deer is a herbivore. Herbivores eat only plants. This deer then may be eaten by an omnivore, this black bear, which may eat plants or other animals, but this deer may also be consumed by the lynx, which is a carnivore, an organism that eats other organisms. A reminder, as that energy transfers from the producers to the consumer and then on to the next consumer, they are losing a large amount of that energy due to heat. Once this top predator, the lynx, ceases to exist and dies, the energy does not stop. The energy is then recycled by the important role of the decomposers, which could be fungus or bacteria. That energy is then recycled and released into the environment and may be used by other resources. In conclusion, if any part of this food chain or ecosystem is altered, it may change the flow of energy and cause serious problems. Additionally, eat your food. It gives you energy so that you can learn and stuff. Like, learn stuff. Boy, I'm hungry. When's the last time I've eaten?